So, welcome to the another episode of Elevate X by IEEE JUSB, where we are exploring different ideas and different domains of engineering. So, for this episode of Elevate X, we are not just talking to an achiever, we are talking to someone who is IIM scholar, a Forbes, and a Unstoppable leader, a national summit champion, and a chief data and research scientist at Alchemist AI and a proud alumni of IEEE as well as Jadavpur University Electrical Engineering. We are up here with Mr. Saptarishi Pani, or we say Lord Panida. So just get ready. It's isn't just another AI talk. This is mind over model, a deep dive into AI and ML. So Panida, are you there?
Hey, hello. Good evening, all.
You aren't
Let me.
audible, Panida.
I'm not
Audible,
audible.
please. Hello.
Hello, am I not audible?
Yes, Panida, you are audible.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining, and thank you, Kushwant, for the kind introduction. So let me start this session. So, as you can already tell from the banner of this particular talk itself, that it's mostly about like the machine learning and the deep learning, and how I approached it being a freshman in college, and how I am currently dealing with this particular domain. That's what I will be talking about for the next nearly 1 hour or so. So before going deeper into this particular topic and the roadmap that I particularly followed, I will like this session to be particularly not just me talking, but I will like it to have a back and forth conversation between you guys. In fact, I want it in the form of conversation rather than just having a talk or a meeting like that. So before going too much into the details of how I approach this particular domain, it will be great if someone of you can turn on your mic maybe and say like what drives you or what motivates you to learn AI as a subject. Anyone, it's fine. It's nothing to be worried about. I'm just your senior itself. Or it is also fine if you have not yet figured out and or have started learning about AI as a topic yet. That is also fine. But anything like what particular domain? Yes, please do it.
Uh, Good evening, Panida. I hope you might recognize me as well. Anyway,
Definitely, yeah. I hope you are.
yes, sir. So, to me, why I am interested in AI, because the first application of AI in the field. Yesterday, I attended the MATLAB Expo, and I also seen that the what can be really done with the AI, because when we are going for the applications in the embedded systems or like that, when we are deeply applying in the edge AI into the applications, then it really excites me about the probable opportunities and the facilities we might get with it, and it makes life a lot of easier actually. And we can invest our focus on what we really need to think, and just automate what is generally just normal things. We can automate that, and we can focus on the main things and research on that as well.
So are you exploring any particular applications in the field of AI?
Actually, I still have not figured it out, but I am hoping that I will go for it, because last time when Byte was happening, we were given a project like make a distraction monitoring different. I hope you remember. So
Yeah. Right.
there was a probable application of AGI. So I was thinking about it and research a bit, and how the AI models being compressed, and how to make it run into the critical resources in the embedded systems. And it was a bit critical, but I think if we go in a continuous manner, I think it's possible very well, and I am going for it actually slowly.
Good. So I think there are people from different fields of engineering here. There may be people from mechanical, civil, and electrical, electronics, different. I think there will be people from different disciplines over here. So in order to summarize what he just said, it's that it's not just about like learning AI as an independent sort of subject. It's not like AI is a field of computer science really. So like he said that he's from, I think, from electronics engineering, and he's working on some embedded processing, some hardware related tools, and he's trying to find some ways to explore AI so that he can automate those stuffs and bring about some sort of automation over here. Similarly, if you talk about someone from mechanical engineering background, I have seen some projects over like some places like like in mechanical and civil, you have some construction, different types of building materials for different sorts of building materials. You can actually know like how the composition of the material will be in different years. You can do some forecasting, you can do some prognosis maybe that this particular material will last for some particular decade or so. These all sorts of predictions can be done for using the AI. But yeah, let me begin by how I exactly got into this field of AI. So I am, if you know, like I am a pass out from the 2020 to 2024 batch from the electrical engineering of Jadavpur University itself. So during 2020, when I just joined Jadavpur University as a freshman, the time was really hard, to be very honest. It was a COVID batch and it was purely lockdown. So I was not yet I was not yet exposed to the college campus yet, and I was not yet familiarized with many seniors and other people from my college yet. And from the very beginning itself, from the day one itself, when my college classes started, when I had started making friends, I started observing that everybody was running after placements, right? These days also, I know like many of you do. That's not really a bad thing. That's my observation. That's what I am saying. And even if you talk more into the details of the placements, you will. I slowly started to realize that people in every direction I look, people were everywhere was practicing DSA, these data structures and algorithms, to crack a placement in suppose any coding companies like Amazon, Google, Flipkart, anything for like the good packages and all. Because once you come from your high school to your college, you join engineering mostly because looking into these sorts of advertisements only, right? That these particular coding placements, placements in these coding domains are. And this much I think you all know from like going into some YouTube stuffs and maybe hearing from your seniors that DSA and all that is very interesting. So in every direction I look, people who are starting with DSA, they were already experts in DSA as a subject. So that's when I slowly started to realize that if everyone was doing this DSA as a subject and everybody is becoming an expert in this DSA, what sets me different? Suppose there are 1,000 students in JU currently in every discipline combined, and suppose 600 of them are doing DSA. Now, what will make me set apart from this crowd of 600 people? So that's when I started realizing that apart from this DSA, definitely I was not a very good expert, not an expert in DSA. I knew the basics and all, but definitely I was not an expert there. So slowly I started analyzing different sorts of technologies, the upcoming technologies that were coming. Some of them were this hardware was one, definitely the hardware technology in analog and digital. During that time I am speaking about. Secondly, it was a blockchain technology that was there. Thirdly, it was this AI technology. And in every sorts of different technologies, there will be different subdomains which you have to be specialized on, right? So I slowly started like exploring all these topics. And that's when I started realizing that, okay, this AI seems a little bit interesting. And when I started with this AI, I took the very orthodox roadmap. That is, you're firstly going to the basics of the machine learning, then your deep learning and deep neural networks, shallow neural networks, these stuffs. So machine learning involves like the basics, very basics, like regression, classification. And in the neural network, in the deep learning, right, the different types of neural networks like convolutional neural networks and recurrent neural networks, all these stuffs, right? But back then, right now you might know that these things will be somewhat basics and most of you are aware of these stuffs. But back then when I started, there was, you won't believe when I say that there was nobody to even guide me. You know why? Because nobody was there who actually was going through all these concepts. Everybody was doing DSA only. There was nobody who was actually doing this AI, ML, these stuffs. So when I started this AI and ML, I did as much as I could from YouTube itself. I looked for seniors who could actually guide me, because AI ML was definitely not a subject which we are taught in a college course curriculum, right? Maybe I don't know in these days, maybe they introduced something with AI ML or not, but back then it was not even any, like there was not a trace of subject of AI ML in your curriculum, in your engineering curriculum. So I started looking for seniors who have actually done this AI, because I have just begun this subject, right? I don't know anything about it, how to proceed with it, what are the applications with respect to it, how can I apply this, and what will it eventually lead me to? Because after engineering, you know, right, eventually we have to get something, we have to go into some job, we have to do something, right? So will AI and ML actually help me after college? What will it lead me to? What is the final destination? That's what I had all sorts of these types of questions, right? And I started looking for seniors who have actually done this, maybe someone like one or two. And after months of like searching for people who have maybe done a little bit of AI ML, I could find only one or two maybe. Okay, throughout the entire campus, I could find only one and two. So I asked them, what do you maybe know about this AI, and could you help me like, or guide me somehow to how to go into this particular domain in details? That's when I realized that the very basics that they started with was the basic classification and the regression problems, and not just the classification and regression problems that you type out in your scikit-learn, Python, these languages. That time we have to know like the very details, the mathematics of it, because the seniors whom I contacted, they showed me, we did this code in C++. These libraries are not directly available in C++. So okay, I asked them how you did it, and slowly we started forming a bond, maybe a sort of like an ecosystem of how the AI was developing during that time among the student community. So it was like that, it was slowly starting to spread during that early 2021 and that time. And nowadays you might know, right, that many people are doing this AI as a thing, apart from your like normal college curriculum. Most of you might be already knowing this, that many of your seniors or maybe you also are doing this AI as a thing. So this basics, I started looking into it, that firstly I had to do this regression. Slowly I have to then go into classification, then clustering. All these are very basic concepts of the machine learning. Then I started looking into the mathematics behind it. What is the statistical analysis? What is the algebra? What is the calculus behind all these concepts? Calculus, you know, if you know like loss functions and all, we have to just minimize the loss functions to get a good optimization and all. So these calculus and these things are very definitely very important. And since mathematics was fresh, still fresh, right now I have forgotten many of the mathematics when I was in high school. Definitely I don't remember all of it. So still I was fresh with that calculus, those algebra stuffs, because in first year we were still refreshed with those memories of calculus and algebra. I could relate that, okay, it is all about this probability, this statistics, this calculus and algebra only. And all of this is black boxed in the form of a model, which we call a machine learning model or a deep learning model. So that's when I got familiar with the, okay, this is actually how the machine learning is getting worked. After that, I slowly started to shift my attention towards the neural networks, where we need a lot of data to actually train a particular model. The baseline might be the same as that of a machine learning model, but we need a lot of data. Why? Because deep neural network will be a lot heavier in architecture. It will be a lot of size, right? The size will be much higher than that of a typical machine learning model. And hence a lot of data will be always needed to actually guide that particular model. So all of this particular analysis, all of this particular model architecture, these things I had exposure to. And all of this definitely I learned from YouTube itself. YouTube is definitely a very good platform, I think, rather than those paid online places. So yeah, so after that, I came across some friends, definitely. Some friends who with whom I started entering into different competitions. If you might know these hackathons and ideathons, right? So we used to create different ideas. We used to create different software products and stuff, and we used to go into different ideathons and hackathons. And like in the beginning, we were entering blindly into all sorts of hackathons and ideathons because, as I already told, that it was a COVID period, and like the classes were online and all, so we had complete freedom to do whatever we wanted in this off time. So we entered in those hackathons and ideathons, and okay, we were not winning anything in the beginning, as that is natural only. You don't win from the day one itself, right? So one day I sat with this friend of mine, who is now the CEO of Alchemist AI right now. So I sat with him and I told him, like, I had a one-on-one conversation with him. What are you going to do for the internship period that is coming up? You are not that much of a technical guy. I know that. I told him, and he also told me, yeah, you are a technical guy. Okay, that's fine. So he was telling me I will go into some product management line or something like that. I told him that okay, I will also try this data and all stuff. So he was never aware of this fact that something like data science, AI, ML, these things actually existed. So he asked me, what is actually this AI, ML stuff that you are talking about? I mean, I have heard of this particular thing, but what is actually this? What this technology has to offer? And why didn't you tell me that you are actually going through all of this AI, ML stuff? So we could have built a product maybe in the beginning. So I told him this AI, ML is basically some good technology which makes life easy, and it is actually very easy to like predict different stuffs. So he told me, what type of prediction? You can just do any math.random also, right, for prediction. So he asked me, what is prediction? I told him that it is basically like modeling a sort of a human behavior, sort of a human brain only, of how the human brain actually analyzes different stuff and does all sorts of like predictions. Like you can predict different sorts of stuffs. So he told me that this definitely seems very interesting, and slowly we started going into this direction of the AI now. Now, our initial products were technical, although technical, like they were based on different full stack web development and those stuffs, but they were not AI based. Now we started doing stuffs in the AI domain itself. So we started building products using AI, like different prediction algorithms, different regression algorithms for like crypto stock, these predictions we did. And not just like the normal crypto and stock, we used like different statistical analysis also in those products, from the candle charts and those. And we pitched a product. Slowly we were starting to use this as a product as our backbone product for pitching in different hackathons and ideathons. And we use this product to pitch in different ideathons and hackathons, and slowly we were starting some note some differences. We were actually starting to win some, and moreover, the judges were having some were getting some interesting questions on how you can just do a prediction. Prediction of these things are definitely not easy, right? So how we are automating all these predictions and stuffs. So as we got deeper into this particular line of work, then slowly one day we started having this particular conversation that if what if like we don't use a normal, like a traditional AI or ML algorithm where you usually train a model and then test it on some data and see how accurate it is, or like that, right? On the contrary, what if we do some generative sorts of models? Because that was a time when still the generative models like those like ChatGPT and all those were still just coming up, or maybe they have not yet come up yet. I think ChatGPT was the only platform back then, and that too just the baseline of the ChatGPT. So he was saying that ChatGPT is good and all, that you can ask any question to ChatGPT and it gives you an answer. But the way ChatGPT works is that you give any question and the way it answers is very generic, right? Back during that time, it was a very generic model. It wouldn't have done some deep research, some web search. Those features were definitely not available during that time when by the time I was discussing this. So he told that different sorts of work, like that of the HR, sales, these different sorts of works where they have to mail thousands of different clients, thousands of different people. They have to mail, then they have to do different sorts of campaigns, then they have to again follow up those emails. These sorts of tasks are highly manual. So what if we do some AI infrastructure which basically automates all these jobs, right? So just by a click, it will be like an entire flow will be automated. First, it will send a mail. Then if the user if the user whom we are sending the mail, if he or she replies back, then we will give a follow-up mail, like the reply to that mail. If he or she doesn't reply, we'll give a reminder or a follow-up mail to him or her. Then these campaigns for advertising our products, these campaigns also will automate these things. These things we were discussing. But definitely, since AI was not that much advanced during that time, we were definitely having some second thoughts that if AI was actually possible of doing all these stuffs. My first question was that ChatGPT and all, it is capable of generating answers, but it is not capable of generating answers which are very personalized, because a mail that you send to a real world client or real world person, that cannot be generic in nature. It has to do something with his or her background. If I am talking with you, I can't just treat you as a normal student, right? I have to tell that you are a student of Jadavpur University. I have to tell that you are a student of this year from this curriculum. I have to tell this in very specific manner. But ChatGPT and all, it was not capable of determining all these stuffs during that time in so much high accuracy and so much specific details. So we shifted our attention to make the AI models that were already there. Instead of generic, we have to make them personalized. They have to be personalized based on our own requirements. So this artificial generic intelligence, we slowly started transforming it into artificial personalized intelligence. After that, artificial personalized intelligence, we started creating different types of AI-based persona, like the sales, like HR, those things I was telling, right? And slowly we are seeing some good outputs from the market, from the customers, from the clients. These things we are observing slowly. And definitely some feedback were also coming from them that this could be better or something. That will be always there once you are into product building. You cannot be stagnant. You have to be completely building all the time. And hence, that was the beginning of today, what we call as the Alchemist AI. And definitely after that, it has been uphill till now. We have been definitely very fortunate in that aspect. So we again received a funding of $300K last year in October. And very recently, 2 days back, we received a grant of $200K USD from Antler Singapore as well. So it's still going up. But yeah, we are also like serving clients like Flipkart, Hyundai, Deltec, Maruti, and many more enterprises. That's how we transformed like different sorts of generic AI agents to the personalized AI agents that many other startups and other organizations are also currently working on. So that was about the sort of the journey that I followed for the AI that I did back from being a freshman to being today as a chief data scientist at Alchemist AI.
It was a really inspiring journey. Like a follow-up question is like, what's one belief or habit you followed that time as a young engineer, which we should copy immediately? Like what we should include in our recipe for being a good engineers, to be precise.
So one thing that I always thought at the time when I start learning this AI as a subject was, firstly, as I told, that I never allowed any gaps in my learning, right? I always like tried to cover everything. And when starting with this AI, I didn't really know that this will yield me this result. I didn't actually start AI with the hopes of starting a company one day, with the hopes of doing some research work one day. I didn't really start like that. I just started it because, as I told earlier also, that people in all directions I could see were doing only DSA as a subject. So in the crowd I have to do something different which will set me apart from the rest, right? And like if you want to set apart yourself from the rest, you have two pathways. Firstly, you have to be doing better than what all the others are doing. That is definitely one approach. And the second thing is you have to do something different. You have to do what they are doing also. That is also true, but you have to do something different than what they are doing. You have to be a little bit in a different direction. So that's I thought the safer route for me, because going into a state competition into DSA was not that much of a very cup of tea for me, right? And after that, I prioritized my learning. First of all, like I have to know all this stuff. And it is, when I say that I prioritized my learning, it is not that I will learn everything that AI has to offer and then only start applying it. When I was doing all these hackathons and stuffs, I was still learning. As I was learning, I was applying. Okay. So as I was learning, I was
learning should never end is the key takeaway, kind of.
And even as we formed Alchemist AI, I was still new to this generative AI, these large language models, these things. Okay, so during that time also, I was still learning and doing this product, right? I was pushing different features into our infrastructure. Things happen when you do this sort of stuff. Is you get exposure to a new concept. You have to learn it in 2 days, because you can't let the clients slip away. If you can't tell the clients that, okay, I will learn this for 1 month and then I will ship this feature and then only you will get this product. Client won't wait for you for 1 month. They are ready with the money. You will do this product. You get me this feature, you get the money. And this has to be very quick, because clients have a lot of mood swings, right? That is also another factor. Today they will tell, okay, well, tomorrow, no, we don't like.
Second question is that being from Jadavpur University, I think you have also went to the to a common concept in engineering that maths is a very tough. We find generally maths to be very tough, and many of us in our Jadavpur University is suffering from a kind of maths phobia, you can say. So this is a question from our audience that many of us fear from the maths. How much maths is actually needed to get started with AI?
So yeah, whenever I am going through a new concept, even now I always go into a new concept of AI, right? Because AI is a never-ending sea nowadays. It has different concepts, different algorithms that are always coming up. So one approach I always follow is that I first go through the overview of those things. Okay, I treat the model as a black box. When I say I treat the model as a black box, I first try to understand what the model is being applied to. Suppose I say that an image has to be classified into some cat or dog. Okay. So first I try to understand that, okay, if an image has to be classified into the form of either it is a cat or a dog, that means the model is first taking an input as an image. And secondly, it is giving the output in the form of either it's a cat or a dog, right? So an image cannot be directly fed into a model. That is the second. Now I go step by step, right? The second step is an image. How do I feed it into a model? What are the different in the form of a matrix, in the form of what? What is the signal that I give into the model? That is the second thing I go into. Third thing is that when I give this, now the input part is over. Now when this input is coming to the model, how the model treats this input, what is happening to this input, layer by layer I start to understand. So it's not directly I go directly into the mathematics, then I get if you go into the mathematics directly, it is obvious that you will get confused. So the first step is you have to know the application where this model will be used. Second is you have to know what will be the input and the output of this model. Just treat the model as a black box. Just think that the input is coming and magically it is giving the output. Now the third step is what the magic is, discovering what this magic is. Now this will be really a tricky step, and this will require several iterations. Like in the first iterate itself, you might not be able to understand fully what it is doing. But gradually you have to keep on understanding, you have to go twice or thrice over that concept, and then only I think you will be able to understand that particular concept.
Yeah, it was.
And even if you don't understand the mathematics, I think that treating the black box, treating the model as a black box is good enough.
Yeah. Talking about second question is like, Dada, you were as I can see from your profile that you were an engineer, electrical engineering. You had your interest in analog electronics as well as artificial intelligence (AI). So, what was like? How did you were you able to manage both the aspects, getting a on-campus placement at TI and building Alchemix AI side by side? Like how you were able to do that?
So yeah, one thing is definitely like I get this question from many colleagues, from many friends whom I have made in Bangalore. Like right now, I'm living in Bangalore, right? So many ask me this question, and my answer is always that, as I said, that I was a student during the lockdown, right? I was a lockdown student, as they might say, lockdown kid. Okay, so I was a lockdown kid, and there was really nobody who will guide me, right? As I said, that it took me months to find that one senior. Okay, that senior was also an IEEE member, if you might know, Bipon
Yeah.
Nagda.
Uh,
Okay, so he was also an IEEE member, so that's a different discussion. Okay, so it took me months to find someone who could actually guide me into the correct path. Okay, so there was nobody who could guide me. So my thought process was, okay, if nobody is there to guide me, the hard approach is that you try everything. You start trying everything and see yourself which you are interested in and which will eventually work out. So not sure of what my future will be, I started working in every direction: analog electronics, AI, everything, in the hopes that one will click. Okay,
and
so
both
I
of
had
them,
the hope that one will be working out in the end.
in the end, both clicked.
It was really a coincidence, I think, that in the end both of them actually worked out, and really I am grateful for that to God himself and to the people who have guided me, definitely.
As you had conversation about IEEE to the audience, let me know that Saptarishi Panida had served 2.5 years of his college life in IEEE JUSB. He has been recognized by various other awards. One of the greatest award is like Best Student Volunteer IEEE Awards at 2024. Currently, Dada is also a prominent member of IEEE Bangalore sections, being a executive member of different young professional affinity group and like different committee members and CASS and CEDA, and also executive committee member at Power and Engineer Society, PES Society. So Dada, like such a like huge, I would say, leadership. Again, adding one more plus to your resume. Like how IEEE and its global network contributed to your growth and to your interest to your AI network. Like how IEEE helped you.
So I will start telling how I actually got into IEEE. Being in that being being in that lockdown phase, I was seeing some of my batchmates. They were joining different clubs. Some of them were joining this ECEL. Some of them were joining this science club. I forgot the name. Science club only, right? Yeah. So yes, science club, I think. Yeah. So one of my friends forwarded me this form saying this is IEEE. This is I asked what is IEEE. He told me that this is one of the clubs. You don't ask too many questions. You just fill out this form. I am also filling out this form. You also fill out this form. That's what that's what my friend told me in the first year. And eventually, I filled out this form and eventually got into this IEEE thing. Okay, I was still figuring out what actually I have to do in IEEE. So, firstly, I started doing some technical things here, like developing different websites and stuff for the events that they conducted. Now, slowly, I started to realize that IEEE is not only restricted to students, but I see different professionals, like working professionals, different professors. They are also affiliated with IEEE. So, the professors whom I was doing research with, at this point in third year or in the middle of third year or something, I was also doing some research works for records, I have 14 papers also published right now in AI. So yeah, all in different international conferences and journals in abroad. So these two professors, I told them I was in IEEE. Okay, he told me, okay, I am also in IEEE. So I asked him what IEEE actually had to offer. Now these two professors, they told me that okay, I have I will organize some event in Jadavpur University. You come and volunteer in this event. Do different sorts of stuffs like arrange the food, arrange the stage mic and these things. Just the small things, right? And see how an event is actually happening. You come into this event and see that because different professors from IIT Guwahati and these different respectable people are coming, you talk to them and understand what IEEE is rather than hearing from somebody you already know. Eventually, I realized that I am starting to form a network. The friends of professors who is currently right now the director of IIT Guwahati. Even if you know the director of IIT Kharagpur also, he is also in my network. So these people I started slowly started having some network with. I slowly started realizing that I was growing my network. I was having some people in my network. Without IEEE, I couldn't have formed network with these people. I had the opportunity to interact with these people via these events and realize what they were actually working in, what their domain of expertise was. Now, once I had a strong network with these people, again, I would form a network with the networks of these people. Okay. So it's just it's like a long chain of a network. And what I truly believe is that having a network is never harmful in any way, right? You know a lot of people, you have a lot of good connections. I don't see any harm in having a lot of good connections. So that is how I think IEEE helped me. And also IEEE has also recognized internationally, globally, it has recognized all the hard work I was putting into that. In 2023, they blessed me with the Richard E. Marvin Scholarship, which was a $1,000 cash prize check. And today, as I told that I am living in Bangalore. So when I came in, so first of all, one more story is that I didn't have any on-campus internship, any off-campus internship. I had nothing. So by the time I graduated, my bank balance was zero. Okay. So if this for this Richard E. Marvin Scholarship that they gave me, that was $1,000. So without this Richard E. Marvin Scholarship, I would have ended with zero bank balance, right? And when I came to Bangalore, I had to purchase different furniture and stuff because I was moving to a new place, and I utilized this money for purchasing different furnitures and stuff, right? So it's investing upon an investment.
Fo King was raising his hand. And do you have any question?
What's your real name, though? I hope it's not Forking.
I think he has left the chat. Tada, what should today's engineering students do to be noticed by international bodies? Like being a REM scholar yourself, like what you should suggest the upcoming generation so that they can also have that REM scholarship, and what are the key criterias which you followed and which they can copy to their recipe?
So one thing is that I will tell that it's not really the awards, it's not really the recognition that one should go after, right? The first and foremost vision as an engineer that I have always felt is the most important thing is that even if in this AI and ML, this thing, maybe some other speaker will come another day and he or she might speak about some electronic stuff. Another day, another speaker might come and talk about some blockchain related stuff. The key takeaway from all these sessions, I feel, is not actually the technology. It's not actually that, okay, I have attended this session, now I have to study, now I have to go into blockchain, now I have to go into AML. It's not actually like that. All these sessions, I think, are usually made for giving an overview of what all the technology has to offer. But it's not the technology which should be the main pursuit of an engineer. The main pursuit of an engineer, I feel, is to how this technology can be applied. Like this AI and ML. When I started this session, the first thing I asked like different people, and I also told you is that this AI ML can be applied in different domains of engineering. Like one example I gave in mechanical engineering, one example Tuhin gave in electronics engineering. So these application areas you have to first figure out rather than blindly studying and blindly like going through all these different technologies. So I think a vision of where you will apply this, and by applying this I mean where in the real world you will apply. Okay, it has to mean something to the society, or it has to mean something in the form of a product or something, right, which will yield a real world importance. Like using AI, when I formed this Alchemist AI, it is giving some, it is a product, right, which is being applied in the real world. It is not just something you put in a showcase and say, okay, I have developed this. Clients, customers are actually using it. So that's the way you have to figure out stuff. That blindly knowing all this technology, knowing the technology is really easy nowadays. Like coding and all this stuff that is being done by DeepSeek, ChatGPT, right? Nowadays people don't usually code also. Okay, so knowing, but DeepSeek and ChatGPT, they won't really know that where this technology is going to be applied in. So that area of application, that is the main thing I think every engineer has to focus on. And in real world, you might expect that, okay, I have developed a model, it is giving 99% accuracy, it is a very good model. In real world, you have to see, is it really 99% accuracy? Because real world will have different data shifts, different data bias and stuff. It can't be 99%. Like the possibility of being 99% accurate in real world is very, very difficult, right? Otherwise, humans would have been replaced by now. So these different things, as an engineer, I think as a young engineer, I also gave more attention to. And that's where I think all should focus on. And yeah, like once you have a sufficient understanding, once you know the application where you are using it, you slowly start applying the technology in that direction. And once you form like projects, once you do like different products in these particular areas of application, people will slowly start to notice, okay, this guy or this girl is doing something in this particular domain which is actually benefiting the society, or he or she is making some product. So yeah, that's how the network is getting formed. Even like as I said, that as a young engineer, I never got any opportunity to do any internships, right, as I told that. But after I got after my engineering curriculum ended, apart from my job at Texas Instruments, also I got two more offers, one from Amazon and one Amazon Software Engineering, and another from, I also got another from Intel Generative AI domain also. So these opportunities, I feel, is automatically, it will come automatically. Once you have the focus right, I think it will come automatically. Recognition is something, recognition, jobs, these are things I don't think is something you should go after. Let them come after you. You just focus on the particular domain of application. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
The Three Idiots का वो एक dialogue याद आ गया, कामयाबी के पीछे मत भागो.
I think that that's the main focus that the engineering students should have. Like, how I will apply this? What is the real world significance of this? That is the main thing.
Dada, you had just spoken about the projects, like how a UG1 or UG2 should figure out like what projects they should start with, like how they should figure out that we have to move with this project, I have to start up with this project. So what should be the ideal ideal tick mark box that okay, this, then you should work with this project?
So as I was saying, that it's not like I will go to the 100%, I will study every book on AI and then only start doing this project. That's not how usually it works. You have to know the basics at least. Okay, before starting any project, you have to go to the basics. Even before I started working as working in research domain, I had a sufficiently decent knowledge. When my professor asked me, do you know deep learning? I told him, yeah, I know this. He told me, okay, so if you know, that is good. Then I can definitely give you one project and let's start working on this project. Now, in an alternate reality, let's just say that I have no background in AI, and I approach a particular professor and tell him that, okay, I want to do a research project in AI. The first thing he will tell me is, you first go and learn deep learning, go and learn different sorts of deep neural networks, have a background at least on this. Then only you can start a project. And eventually, I feel this is where the struggle actually begins. you start, if the professor or some other guy tells you to go through this new subject, you start having this learning this new subject, and you don't understand what is happening, and eventually you think, oh, this is very hard, this is not my cup of tea, I will give up. And the next and within 1 or 2 months, you usually start showing up to this professor or this person whom you were initially planning to do some project with. So before you approach someone, before you approach someone or doing a particular personal project even, a basic understanding of the knowledge, basic understanding and knowledge of that field is very important. That's what I feel. And I mean only the basic, not like very high details of that. So once you have that, the second thing I was always saying is try to realize yourself how this knowledge can be applied in real life. Nobody is going to come and tell you, okay, you have this knowledge, let us apply it somewhere. That can happen, that may happen, but that is not a very good way of learning thing. The best way of learning thing, and when you say that I want to do a project, it shouldn't mean that I want to do a project because I have to fill my CV, I have to fill my resume. That's how it shouldn't be treated. The way it should be treated, the project should be that to showcase that you have learned something. I have learned something, and that's how I have materialized in the form of a project. And that is what you should realize first, that okay, I will apply it in this region, in this particular sector. So that understanding you have to explore. Maybe it will take time. Okay, that it will take some 3-4 months to realize, okay, this area is lagging, I can make something here using AI that will help this particular sector. So it takes time, but really I think it's really worth the effort, because having 7-8 projects randomly, I don't think it is of much meaning if it is not being applied in the real world.
True. With this, we are towards the end of our session. For the audience, like if they are having any questions, we are up for that. You can use the comment chat box, or you can raise up your hand. Like, are there any queries, any doubts, any suggestions which you would want to have from Panida? Till the time they are having any questions, Panida, like what to conclude the whole session? Like what for your juniors you would want the key takeaways from your session would be? Like what they should take away?
Yeah, as I said, that you attended this session. You attend this session doesn't mean that you have to go and do AI only. I usually followed this roadmap myself as well, and recommend everyone that it's the best way to learn is like you go and explore different stuffs on your own. Maybe go and do different blockchain, web development, and all sorts of stuff, and see like what actually interests you. Okay, and when you have set your mind, okay, this is what I am interested in, then you can slowly start going into the details of that, and then you can like go into the higher level stuff of that particular technology or knowledge, right?
One
And
question.
try to be more application oriented rather than doing a project for a CV, rather than just going out there and like I want a job. Don't have that sort of a mentality. Try to be more like application oriented, where you apply your stuff in the real world.
One question from the chat box, which I find is very interesting, like starting from somewhere where you didn't know about IEEE, and currently serving approximately 3.5 years from with IEEE. What is IEEE, Dada?
So IEEE, as I told, is a global organization. It is not like your ideal job place where you work from 9 to 5 and get some salary. It is not like that. You can tell it is a sort of an NGO. Okay, it is a sort of an NGO for engineers. And when I say it is an NGO, when I say NGO, you usually get this vibe that it will benefit a lot of people, right? So it will benefit a lot of engineers actually. So when you are actually into IEEE, this is a worldwide organization where several people come into this one house and they exchange different types of ideas. They tell that I am working in this domain, and different, like they tell about their different professions and all, right? Professional and also different workplace related stuff. And all sorts of people they put forward. And slowly you will see that IEEE has different societies, like computer science society is there, then your solid state circuit society is there, then some signal processing society is there. So different societies are there for different disciplines of engineering, right? So if you are a computer science engineer, you will go into the computer science. I was not a computer science engineer, I was an electrical, but I had this interest in AI, so I also took up the membership of computer science as well. So it's not that you have to be in computer science engineering to be a member of the CS society in IEEE. What interests you professionally, that membership you can take. And once you have taken a particular society's membership, you will get different magazines, different articles, you will have access to different research papers and stuff, which will be definitely very, very helpful for building your knowledge, for your concepts. And one thing I will tell you is that if you go through these different magazines, no, you will one magazine is equivalent to one project idea that you can do. Okay, so that's how all these magazines are. So in electronic format, you can download all these different magazine PDFs and all. And apart from this, IEEE definitely conducts so many events. In Bangalore section, they nearly conduct event in every weekend, I will say, I think. So they conduct many events, and people from who are interested in particular events, like some AI related event is happening, so people who are interested in AI, they come there and people talk, like I am doing this, you are doing this, different people talk and they exchange ideas. That's how they also they boost their network also.
To add on to whatever Dada said, Hassan, we very soon we will be having our annual membership event, or you can say orientation of IEEE. Hello IEEE. Hope so. You are from Jadavpur University. We will have conversations there too, and would love to guide you how to join IEEE and how, like, what next to do. Another question here from the audience is that how you published multiple research papers. What is the process?
So the first step I already told, right, that knowing the basics is very important. So once you have the basics, first it is up to your research guide who is guiding you in the research. So first 1 or 2 projects he or she has to guide you that these are some of the applications in AI or maybe some other research domain that you can work on, and maybe you will slowly you can publish some papers maybe. Okay, so first few projects that research guide will guide you. From 3rd or 4th maybe, you will slowly start to get some ideas of your own. So previous 2 projects, I was doing my AI application in these areas. So can it be also applied in some area other than this? Slowly, because you have also, while doing some research project, you will also be studying a lot of research papers. And that papers also give you some ideas on where different areas of application you can work on. What are the modular things they are doing by like different model architecture and all those they are doing. And from the 3rd or 4th project, you will start having your own ideas. Oh, can we do this? So these ideas come into the form of a paper, and that you can maybe publish it some conference or journal. That's how it worked for me. Initially, it was my guide who actually guided me throughout my college life. After that, I had a decent idea on what AI has to offer in research. Nowadays, I only tell him that we have already done this model. Can this model also be applied in other areas like this area? He tells me, you only try finding out and tell me what results you are getting. So if I'm getting good results, I tell him I'm getting good results. So we can maybe publish it in the form of an paper.
Next question is that Dada, can we follow a similar trajectory coming from a core department, other than electrical? What's your suggestion for them?
By similar trajectory, what specific trajectory do you mean?
Your, like, the way you progressed, the way you had your stuffs coming up.
Definitely, I think you can. I will never say that it was a bad idea, right?
The next question is that how to find a real life application for ML project.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that you can't just have a real world like a real world application out of the blue. You can't just go. You can definitely discuss with your peers, with your friends maybe, but the main thing you should always do is read a lot of articles, read a lot of papers, a lot of like others projects, what they are doing, and slowly you will start realizing that okay, these things maybe I can apply elsewhere also. That's how you have to read a lot for getting an idea of how the of which domain or which particular area you can work out. So reading a lot, that's why I told you that you have to be reading at least 2 3 months straight, like a lot of reading you have to do.
If any project from any source are useful for finding best jobs on campus or off campus, like is there any project source which are very good where you can find direct projects? Basically, what to sum up some of the similar question is that I want to know how you get these unique ideas, like how personally figure out on yes
One thing
this
I
is the.
usually find, one thing I usually find people doing for project is that they just copy paste from GitHub or YouTube. Okay, that is not really a project that I will say. So the important thing for a project first should be that that idea should first come from different readings. As I said, that you have to read a lot and you have to see different ideas, explore different ideas on your own. And when I say that in the field of AI, how I usually get all these ideas is that I was very active in Kaggle. Okay, in Kaggle they give many data sets and all sorts of stuffs. So I don't usually build. I stopped I stopped following YouTube. Okay, for projects, and saw what type of data sets are available on Kaggle that people have not worked too much in. Like it is a rare sort of data set, because people have not worked so much into it. You won't usually find it in other CVs. Different people will not have it in their CVs. Okay, so I can usually take that one as a project. Okay, so that data set I will pick up. Then maybe I will start searching in some YouTube or some Google, that is there any is there any related data set or a related project that somebody else has done. Maybe that code I can apply over here. That can be a good project. That's how I used to work when I was still in the development phase.
I hope that it answered your question.
Like there should be some delta, right? There should be some delta, some difference between what you are doing and some other person B has done. Otherwise, it is not a project if you're just copy pasted it from somewhere.
To answer Sneha's question, hey, I am a non-JU student and my college is very tier 3 and new,
Great,
and our
thank you for
college
that.
doesn't have any clubs like IEEE or any societies like. So can I be the member of IEEE or anything? See, talking about being IEEE member, IEEE is a global organization. You can join any day and anytime IEEE. Second, talking about being a non-JU student and still IEEE JUSB events are open to students from any colleges. Just you have to be interested towards the topic on which we are having discussion on, in which the event is. You feel free to join, because the the basic thing which we work upon is to develop a exclusive networking is the thing which we work upon. And like anything else you would want to add, Panida?
Yeah, definitely she can join IEEE. Maybe she can start IEEE societies in her own college.
Yeah, it's
That's how
always best
you
if
can
it's
definitely
all.
share that experience with her, right? That at a time Jadavpur University IEEE was also not a thing. How it started, maybe you can tell her.
Yeah, and winning back-to-back best student chapter awards, like currently IEEE JUSB is winning best back-to-back best student volunteers awards and best student chapter awards. This is discussions which we can have when you may visit to us on during our next offline event, maybe. Uh, any more questions? If not,
Yeah, sure. Somebody has raised their hand.
yeah, Sharvari Bromik, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. I am. My name is Aditya Bhomik. I'm a first year CX student of. So, sir, you said that means
Tell me,
for
Dada.
UG one
Proceed.
and Sir, for you said that for UG1 and UG2 we have to means explore our options and such things. But sir, I have a question. There are a lot of options. So if I try to just randomly pick one and start and randomly just start doing stuff, means I can't actually do nah. So I have a question. Means should I start like basic, like learn some languages like C, C++ and stuff, learn some basic mathematics needed, learn these, then start on AI, ML, and other stuff, or directly start using AI learning their
No, I
basic
will
principles
recommend
of
you that you
it.
have a basic understanding of the languages like C, C++, because directly going into different applications like higher level technology like AI, blockchain, or different stuffs. If you don't know the basic like languages, then it will be very difficult for you to follow like those higher technologies. And if you don't follow, what eventually ends up is that you stop doing that thing completely. Because if you don't understand something, like you will definitely stop doing it, right? And when you say that there are a lot of
Yes,
stuffs
sir.
available, it is definitely that there are a lot of stuffs available. So everything you can't do, right? That is also I agree. So first talk with some people who have actually done, because as I told, when I was doing AI, I started contacting one or two people who has actually done AI. Start talking with them and analyze yourself what it has to offer. Maybe after talking with some people about suppose blockchain, AI, some 7 technologies you have figured out. Okay, these are 7 technologies which may be interesting for me. Now you have to narrow down from 7 to 3, from 3 to 1. Like that, you have to slowly start the narrowing down process. That's how it usually works.
Okay, so it means it requires some networking and extensive means researching of my interests. Okay, sir.
You start
Thank you.
talking with some people who have maybe done some work on AI, blockchain, and suppose you have figured out that 7 things are interesting you. Now you can slowly start doing, suppose follow some YouTube videos, some small projects on how this technology, what this technology has to offer. Start looking into it for 1 week, maybe not too much high details, just a little bit. Then you will know that okay, this is not for me, this is for me. That's how you start to like narrow down from 7 to 3, from 3 to 2, like that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
uh, it's already the time and like think acha doing. Yeah, this is the
I will
last.
also put my LinkedIn so that if they have any questions, they can message me over there also.
Yeah, you can message over Dada, or you can, if just in case you are having any more doubts, you can reach out to like this session is also featured on YouTube. You can use the comment section of YouTube to post any doubts just in case you are having from the session, or like if you are having in any general questions, you can reach out to Dada's profile. You can like easily Dada.
Actually, I had suggestion basically. Uh, it's the I what I personally feel. There are several workshops conducted by IEEE. So if you are interested in a specific topic and you see that some workshops is happening, join them, experience that. They are basically beginner friendly, and when you understand that you are making this, and this makes very basic. Start with a basic workshop, then go experience that, and if you are interested, then go for it. This means a lot of improvement in your personal experience as well.
Right. I think if nobody has any question, or even if they have any question, they can feel free to reach out to me. I've shared my LinkedIn ID. They can message me over there also.
So with this, we are towards end of our session. Thank you, Saptarishi Da, for being there in such a short interval and such a short notice. Like we would always love to host you again.
Yeah,
Meeting,
thank you.
hope to meet you very soon and offline as we had our discussions. And I hope that audience enjoyed the session very much. Uh, yeah, with this we are end. Just keep noticing over the other events of ElevateX. We are also having very other like another event very soon. Hope to see you all there as well. Thank you, Da.
Thank you all. Happy weekend.